quick as a fox. That's done? Who's hungry?
I think this is the only way down. After you.
Sit.
How to know when to be quiet. What a lovely gift to find on my pillow.
Oh, interesting. I suppose that's a good skill to master.
If I didn't know better, Marius, I'd think so.
Well, the best thing to do would be to read it, see what it's all about.
And you have nothing more to say, do you?
No, I think everything's out in the open. Why?
I know I talk a lot, but had I known it bothered you so...
Oh, no. It's about maintaining stealth in a wilderness environment. Gods, what did you think it was about?
I just assumed you were too cowardly to complain to my face, dearie.
Not at all. If I had a problem with you, you'd know it. Trust me.
When you find Sapadol, I hope you tell him how much I love what they've done with this place. And you've got to enjoy it where you can find it. Besides, as divine prisons go, I can imagine much worse. True enough. Makes me wonder if confinement was the real goal, or simply the only option at the time. One thing's for sure, imprisonment has only riled Sapadol up. Judging from their outbursts at Mount Forja and Nakukubel, they haven't exactly taken this time to reflect and relax. Aha. I've heard that one before. Usually before a lot of tears, a lot of drinks, and a lot of, I should have known better. Still, you taught me that a person can grow beyond their flaws. Why wouldn't the same be true of a god? I hope you're right, because we are all in trouble if you're wrong. You know, if Sapadol were only a smuggler, assassin, or bandit, I'd be right there with you. But knowing they could end us all with a temper tantrum puts things in perspective. I guess we've all got our limits. And I don't envy you having to deal with the loose cannon of a god. But I envy even less the mess you're going to have if, when, we escape this place. Surprised where people can find blame when they're spun up. And it looks real bad when a steel garrote force just so happened to be there when it went down. Fairly or not, a lot of blame's gonna be laid at Adir's door. And if I had to guess, I don't think Hilgard's been helping matters while you've been out here. If and when we get out of here, we're walking into a powder keg. And you'll have to choose a side. That's the part I don't envy. Yeah, those were your orders. And if you make it back, you'll be the godlike Adiran who survived an assassination, treated with local leaders, faced a god, and stopped the Dream Scourge. That's a powerful symbol indeed. I admire your principles, but don't underestimate what they could demand of you. Look, I've been there. I fought for Rauatai's interest in the Deadfire for longer than I like to admit. I lost my stomach for it eventually. That's how I wound up here. But I will tell you now, I never could have fought my own brothers and sisters. I hope that's not what it comes down to. But I'll understand if that's a line you can't cross. I don't mean to burden you. It's late, and you've still got a god to face. Just know that whatever you choose, I'll fight alongside you. I'm with you to the end of this. No matter what. Hey, it's not like you could possibly make the mess we're in worse, right? Anytime. Good night, envoy.
Even though I can't use them anymore, I'm loath to give away my perfumery supplies.
Why would you have to give them away?
I fear I've lost my sense of smell forever.
What makes you say that?
Well, it's either that or you've suddenly stopped your odorous assault. One is far more likely than the other.
Well, I might have put a bit of that perfume you gave me in my pits. Just a bit.
That's wonderful news. Oh, it doesn't irritate you or anything of the sort?
Not irritated, no.
Good, I'm glad. I was a little worried about not using a seed oil base, but it seems to have smothered your scent quite well.
I just wanted to keep the animals away.
Yes, yes. Keep the animals away, not your friends, dearie. I'll make a new batch for you just as soon as I'm able.
Envoy, what do you need? You too. Envoy, what do you need? Thanks for talking.
A breath held. Trepidation. You are close, yet distant still. Bars were not enough. They writhe. They seek to silence us. Only essence sustains them now. Hatred seated in the heart. We wonder. We did not foresee this. You have defied our expectations at every turn. Perhaps we should not have been. A rosebush grows berries. We cannot be but what we are. We would be so old and yet so young. We would drink the sea air, the grass, see the world as those with our gift. Petals that wither beneath the snow. An end to our time. We twine. Vengeance denied. Squandered, This cannot be. We spoke of growth. We speak of freedom when the hand still clasps around our throat. Wake now. Find us.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Or am I going mad? What is the meaning of this? It can't be real. This is an illusion. A joke. Tell me we're both seeing the same thing. But worse. So much worse. Why am I cursed to see this again? Why does the memory follow me wherever I go? Don't be ridiculous. Whoever is responsible, I'm tired of the bullshit. Step forward and answer for yourself, coward!
Godlike of Sapadal, long have we awaited you.
Finally, you've come home.
It's not just me, right? The plants are talking.
Oh my gods. They're alive? What do you think you're doing?
Giada Castel, welcome.
Wait, you know me? How do you know me?
For centuries, our whispers filled the silence. Then we heard your mother's call.
My mother? You... heard her?
She reached out to us, using the tool you now carry.
But that would have been years ago. The first time she used the phantasmal focus. The only time she used it.
We heard, and Sapadal answered, saying in a great voice, "We are here. You have found us."
But when Sapadal speaks, the living lands trembles. The voice of a god can be a terrible thing. Indeed, Sapadal learned to whisper.
What exactly happened to my parents? Tell me, please. I need to know.
Sapadal wanted to be heard, and in so doing, twisted your family in body and soul, broke them into a more suitable shape.
Sapadal does not know the limits of their strength. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made? Do you have any idea what my life has been since your little mistake?
After the incident, your parents were like us, and we took pity, so we helped them move on, as they wanted.
In the end, they thought only of you, their pride, and their love.
That's it. That's really it. The answer I've been searching for all these years. Sapadal destroyed my family. I don't hold you responsible. I don't even know if I hold Sapadal responsible. Your god has the intelligence of a scatterbrained goat, but that isn't their fault. It's simply how they came into being. Indulge me a moment. I've been waiting a long time for this. One final question, spirits. What is this? Why are you trying to ruin my life again? Is this your way of haunting me? What is it you want?
Not to be pedantic, but that was 4 questions.
We want to apologize on Sopadal's behalf, and for the part we played in your sorrow.
They want to apologize. I came to the garden for answers, not to offer forgiveness. Was it a mistake? Because no matter where we go, the gods can't stop themselves from hurting us. Our lives are a game to them. Damn it. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Sapadal has been trapped here for millennia. Alone. Confused. Screaming into the void for anyone who will listen. When they heard the voice of a stranger, they overreacted. How can I hold that against you? Apology accepted.
Thank you, Chiara. And thank you, Godlike, for bringing her all this way.
The time has come for you to find your patron, as you were meant to. May the living lands receive you with open arms. Farewell.
Goodbye. We need to talk about this, but not here.
Give her space, dearie. Giada will speak more when she's ready.
I see the disciple has found his way into the cell.
No. Clarion Steel. We know this voice. Why is she here?
It seems I was not clear enough when I last spoke with you.
Out. Out. Her voice pierces our skin.
Look at this place. A quagmire of your parasite's worst instincts. Can you even begin to grasp the forces that you tamper with? I call it for what it is. Do you think you're special? With your god's thorn in your side? Do you believe you can hold dominion over chaos itself? When even the collective fury of the real gods could only confine the sniveling creature to this wasteland. Who else would have the strength?
It is true. She twists the knife. The seas run red with memory.
In time, the gods felt the wretched powers seeping through this land. Its madness would consume us all if it was not contained. Chaos threatens us all. We will ensure order prevails. A pity that its followers could not be reasoned with. Of course I do. The poor goddess, worshipping the very thing that subsumed them. We could not excise the rot and spare the roots that nourished it. You know the trials of battle. You cannot pass judgment on me. They bring raw from ashes. Your tyrant destroys for its own sake.
We moved the earth and sky to stop her. We did not mean this.
Listen to its tantrum. It knows neither order nor sense. Adir is the only thing holding back the tide of entropy. Then they will keep applying the rod until it understands. But there is still time. You can succeed where Ludwig failed. Face your false god and end its reign of terror permanently. Very well. I cannot force a child to bend to my will. But I will not stand by and watch you undo my work. You should have thought more carefully before you broke your oath to the Empire. Let this be a lesson to you.
I never thought I'd learn of the Godless's fate from their killer.
That's it. From now on, I pray to no god. thing moving. Wish there was time to stop it before it kills us.
Well, it's really sick.
What is that? I know that place, right? Oh no. No, no, no. Why is this? They're dead. Like, it just happened. Like I remember.
This is the moment I found you, bundled and crying, while our parents died.
Viate. You're not here. You can't be here.
I am dead, Viate, from the Dream Scourge. We are in the garden. As strange as this seems, it is normal here. What I am now is much better than what I was becoming then. That much is certain.
I have faced this already. Why force me to do it again? Then for the god's sake, what is it? I am exhausted, Viate. I can't take much more of this.
You know where we are. This is my memory. When everyone died, and I found you back in your tent. How much of this do you remember? I can't tell from your eyes.
We dealt with Razvan. He got what was coming to him.
Good. And when he arrives here, he will have me to deal with. Sapadal wants to understand. They know your envoy very well, but not the people next to them.
I have what I needed. We dealt with Razvan. We avenged our parents' deaths.
Then maybe it was I who needed to speak with my Viate. With a clear mind this time. Even when we were children, you kept me alive, first by needing my protection, and then by being who you turned out to be. When you left Solace, it was like I lost more than my best friend. I lost my need to live.
I know. And I'm not sure I'll ever live that down. I don't think I know how.
You've always done everything you could to survive. It's time for you to learn how to live.
So, what do we do now? What? Worse than Yonku's tragic death?
I can't say I loved that part most.
We've both been through so much. But I can see that it's all behind us now. Just another thing we've survived after all this time.
A fine way to put it. I see it too. You've come a long way from that scared boy who refused to wear shoes for fear a bug might crawl out of it.
That was you, Nimdut. Look at my feet. Shoes. Kamayu.
Get out of here. Hike up your waistline and go talk to a god. They'll be waiting.
Well, it was good to see you, Viate. Even with all this.
Take care of my little friend, Envoy. He needs you more than he'll say.
Marius, dear. How are you feeling?
I'm alright. Good to see an old friend, you know?
Saying goodbye, that's the hard part.
You can talk to us, Marius. That is, if you think talking will help.
Well, obviously it wasn't my favorite thing, but...
Grief is strange. You lose someone, and you carry around a little hole inside yourself till you die. Or maybe the same is true for the dead. Your friend obviously loved you.
Yeah, how did we get on this topic? I thought we were talking about pancakes. Sorry, Envoy. Let's talk about it back at camp, right?
We've got company!
East ahead.
Your reputation is well deserved.
I came here to help you do whatever you're supposed to do with your god friend. Instead, I'm here talking to dead people. I think it did. He really did seem at peace, right? I imagine most encounters with dead old friends don't, go so well. I owe a lot of that to you, Envoy. You helped me be someone who could handle Sokka like that. Thank you. I will say, it's not really what I expected when I started tracking you and Kai back in Paradise. No, I was thinking more in terms of hunting for wild game and peeing on Kai to put the fires out. It's been a bit of a ride, Envoy. I feel like it's coming to an end. One way or another. I don't know. Maybe the unexpected isn't so bad after all. I never expected you and I would become friends. Yeah, quick note. If you tell any of the others I said that, I'll poison your drink. Anyway. Not before I've done some reading.
All this time, I thought my parents died in a freak accident. An experiment gone awry. A mistake. And in a way, they did. But it wasn't their mistake. It was Sapodal's. Generous? Perhaps. Until I knew the whole story, there was never anyone to blame. This whole experience has me considering my family's work in a different light. Look at what my mother accomplished. Armed with her research and her wits, she found a god. When you speak to a god, it's nothing. Barely a reflex. But for the rest of us, it's unimaginable. No Animancer can live up to that. Certainly not me. I thought their legacy was a curse, and I could only break it by completing their work. I was wrong. I suppose I have been all this time. I just never realized it. One thing is certain. When it comes to animancy, I need to unlearn some of my old assumptions. I wanted to tame the spirit of the living lands. Now, there's so much about it I don't understand. And it's creepy, but wonderful. They probably won't even notice me. But stranger things have happened. I believe the power flowing out of the garden drove this island mad. That has to end. Through animancy, we could help the living lands recover. It would take a lifetime, maybe more. But that's a small price to pay. Then again, who am I to interfere with an ecosystem that I barely understand? On the other hand, half the fun of animancy is stirring the pot and getting into trouble. I think I know what I want, but there are too many variables to consider. What do you think? I have a lot of catching up to do, and plenty of room to grow. But I think you're right. So be it. Starting today, I don't have to live up to anyone's example. Animancy can be whatever I make of it. I knew they would be. And not just because some ancient plans told me so. Now I just have to decide which field of research to pursue. But no need to bore you with the details. I've only got one lifetime as Giada Castel, so I'd better make it count. Hey, you helped me through a very difficult time. I just wanted to say thank you.
Giada's parents would be proud, and maybe a bit worried.
Hey, Giada. How are you holding up after seeing those... some plant people.
Well... I've seen things not intended for mortal eyes, and uncovered... the dark truth of my family's downfall. But here I am. And how are you?
Don't worry about me. I just want to know how you're feeling.
I'm... complicated. But at least I know what happened to my parents.
Knowing's one thing. Feeling okay about it's another.
Yes, that part could take a while.
As long as it doesn't turn into a ghost story. I'm here if you need to talk.
We're talking right now.
It won't be easy, but you have to let yourself feel it. All of it. Even the parts that hurt like the blessed saltfly bite.
Just be kind to yourself, dearie.
I don't know what to say, except I'm grateful to know each of you.
What a massacre.
East ahead. East ahead.
that Tama's can. Oh dear.
Are you seeing this too? No. No. This can't be. This room. It looks just like Tama's. Tama. No. No. I dealt with this. We stood at his memorial together. What is this, Envoy? This is your god's prison, not mine. I can't tell. I can't focus on his face. His features keep blurring, changing. Then what am I looking at? I know it's him, but I don't recognize him as the Tama I knew. It's like he keeps changing in front of me. Does that make sense? That's the problem. I can't picture him anymore. I used to remember his face so clearly from that night. His rigid jaw, the way his eyes crinkled at the corners. He was in pain, but trying to hide it. I see everything. All his moments at once. Joy, sadness, anger, or heartbreak, stomachache. Everything from the handful of years that I knew him and the decades before we'd met. He's almost a stranger. I'm not. All this time I kept him frozen in his worst moment. When he was suffering and when I failed him. But now that I see him as more, it's like he's free of that. You're right. I am. It's like you said. His memory is no longer a burden. For the longest, I was afraid to let go of this moment, like I'd be letting him go if I did. Now I see I was just holding on to something that was weighing us both down. Better than I could have said it. I never thought I'd meet someone I respect the way I respected Tama. But you've made some tough calls, and you've kept your head and your heart in the right place. So whatever comes next, I'm with you until the end. Now let's go find this god of yours and end the Dream Scourge. When we reach them, what do you think we'll find? A victim? A villain? I suspect you're right. Let's end this. I'll follow your lead, as always. Just like the good old days. Incredible.
To see all this in its heyday, in its full splendor.
What is happening? Does the affliction fester even here? It threatens our heart. We cannot fight this invasion alone. See clearly. We must. We must.
Right behind you.
So those green people in the garden, those weren't your parents?
No.
Get off me!
Protect the envoy!
Envoy, watch your left!
East ahead. East ahead. Then raw.
Come on! Come all! They're coming!
Someone's eager to meet us. Bravo!
This place feels familiar. Hurry, let's go inside. This is the library from my dreams. It's real? Look at all these tablets. Actual written records. Oh, somebody pinch me. And there's even some wine to read with. Oh, whoever was here last, I would have gotten along well with them. Garlowain's gonads. Look! It's even the same hearth from my dream. And that's the chair. It's the picture of coziness. Must you always default to military tactics? Finally, you've arrived. Ah, Barrett's balls. That took 10 years off my life. Wait. You must be the librarian from my dreams. Oh, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. Oh, though, you do look quite familiar.
The resemblance is uncanny.
It has been quite some time. Too many years to number. Of course. You are an ancestor? A very fashionable one at that. No, child. We are the keeper of these tablets. Or have you already forgotten? Oh, of course. I was you in a past life. Oh, I'm such a fool. You lived with animancers, and yet the idea of awakening to your past lives never entered your mind?
Few can bear the mental and spiritual strain of an awakening. As often as not, it leads to madness.
Oh, darling, you know how I get around all the metaphysical talk.
That's why I'm here, remember?
I was the last of the Akita. Once the attack started, a few of us were charged with preserving as much of our history as we could. So, we retreated with as much as we could carry. The attacks? You must mean... the Magfolk attacks. Yes, we've... heard... Is that the reason for the bodies outside? Yes. Your monstrous gods, who bought their divinity with blood and the souls of their faithful. They tried to butcher every last one of us. Must it always be literal blood? Oh, if all the Akidans outside were with you, you would have heard them as they were killed. But how did the Magfolk reach you in here? They didn't. Between the screams of my kin being slaughtered and the screeching of the Magfolk, I couldn't breathe. That's the screeching I heard in my dream, Envoy. I knew I recognized it when we killed that Magfolk. Once it was gone, there was nothing left. And perversely, I found the quiet worse. So I decided on another way. One that wouldn't give your gods the satisfaction. Poison? Well, at least you washed it down with some good wine. You're not helping, Envoy. Yatsli, you know what you must do now. I abandoned my duty to protect our history, but you... someone must tell the story of the Akita, and there is no one else. I'm already an expert. What more do you want me to do? Oh, think about it, Yatsli. You have been training to be the new protector of this collection since childhood. I couldn't ask for a better successor. But that was your duty. I have my own dreams. Yatsli, if you do not become the new librarian, there will be no other. The stories of the Akita will turn to dust, and my people, our people, will be forgotten. Just as the burned queen wanted all along, when she sent her magfolk to choke the life from us.
This is all too much. What do you think, Envoy? I'm already intrigued. You don't need to lay on the guilt, Envoy.
I'm so glad that one of Sapodal's chosen stands with you, Yardsley. Our time is at an end, Yardsley. It's time for me to go.
Wait! I've not even asked you any questions! Tell me about your marriage rights. Oh, did you mean for all your buildings to look so phallic?
Unfortunately, my time is at an end. You must keep Yardsley alive. She is the last hope of the Akita.
So this is goodbye. I wish we could have... No. I wish that all of you had a better ending.
Choose well, Yardsley. And good luck.
She's gone. Forgive me, Envoy, but we should get going. We can talk back in camp. Later. She must have wanted to leave some evidence of herself here. I would want the same thing. This must be the Akita building the library. How brave of them to keep the knowledge safe. This place seems less like a death trap. Maybe we could stop, catch our breath.
There's always a weird sort of quiet on the eve of battle. I'm feeling that now. Seems like a good time to gather our thoughts and Share a drink before whatever's coming.
Right. This seems like a perfect place to stop and relax.
Though it's hard enough to tell what's real here without a belly full of drink.
Sounds like you're nervous, dearie.
I'm feeling all kinds of ways. Anxious, excited, scared, hungry.
I feel it as well. It is only mortal to feel overwhelmed in the presence of the immortal.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. Getting to see that vision of Tama did me good. Like, I finally let go of something I'd been holding too long. Now that we're here, I'm eager to see this through. Nothing worse than holding your breath and waiting. Same. I'd rather have good company in a prison than paradise alone.
Had a feeling you might ask me that. I'm not sure I've really worked through what I've seen here, but I am grateful for the chance to see Yonko again. I feel like we're almost done with all of this, but we are in the weirdest place in the world, so who knows? I'm completely baffled, but when haven't I been lately? Being afraid doesn't even feel scary anymore.
I think so. The garden is so much more than I expected. Full of contradictions. Wild, yet serene. Truthfully, I didn't come all this way searching for my own answers. But I found them. Or perhaps they found me. And now, it's like there's a new path laid out before me. A life after the dream scourge. We're close to something. A threshold between calm and crisis. Conflict and peace. Life and death. So am I. None of us could have gotten this far on our own.
Well, I won't lie to you, Envoy. A lot's happened. It's not every day that you learn that you're the last hope to carry on a legacy, but... well, here we are. Never literally talked to myself before either. I think I annoyed her. Me? Oh, I think I need another drink. But here we are. I just need a moment to take it all in. Thank you, dearie. I'll be ready by the time the fun starts. And I wouldn't worry. Our little group here is perfectly frightening, and I'm sure our enemies would agree. We'll be fine. I can't speak for anyone else, though.
You've listened to all of us. How about you? You've been through a lot since you arrived. You've been shipwrecked and assassinated, harangued by gods, bureaucrats, and a death guard. You've had your soul poked, your loyalties questioned, and your sleep regularly interrupted by a god with no respect for privacy. And yet you've kept yourself and all of us together. How are you really doing?
You're very resilient. Under different circumstances, I would credit your nature as a godlike. But we all know better. You're strong enough to survive anything. Sapadal picked a good soul when they made you.
That actually made sense to me. As if I've learned something about souls and whatnot.
I'll take that as a compliment.
How about you, Envoy? What keeps you so stoic in the face of everything? No, you tease.
When we first met, I didn't think you'd last long. But then I saw how you handled that dream thrall bear. Shook off your own death like a bad cold. And then you confronted your own killer and let him go. It takes a special kind of strength to stay your hand in a moment like that.
I didn't know much about you at that point. You were traveling with Kai and you died, which I thought made a lot of sense.
I remember your calm. How you listened to my shouting match with the governor and actually heard me. And when they burned my home, you gave me another one. A sanctuary where I could be myself. I'll never forget that.
You were my hero right away. You rescued me from those sporlings. You got my priceless face. What more could a girl ask for?
And now look at you. Look at us. How far we've come in a short time. One crisis at a time, please. I can only lose so much sleep.
He's right. Not to raise the sails before the anchor, but we left trouble in our wake. Fjord, Thirdborn, Solace. If we make it out of here, it won't be to a living lands suddenly at peace.
Just this once, could we forget about the rest of the living lands? Some of us could use a break.
If we can't take a moment to ourselves on a floating island outside reality, then I don't know where we can.
Right. We could all use some beauty rest. We'll want to look our best on the battlefield, won't we? Sleep well, my friends. Oh, Envoy. Have you recovered yet from our chat in the library?
I don't think I have yet, but maybe talking it out will help.
I think I just need to say some things out loud, if that's all right. It's just... we already have a lot to take care of, don't we? We have a god and an empire both vying for our attention, and now I have this legacy forced on me. I was already unsure what to do, and now a third option appears like the world's worst surprise.
But it makes sense. My whole life has been about the godless in one way or another.
It explains why I knew the language, why I felt so drawn to the ruins. I love the man, but he'll just be endlessly supportive, the fiend. And trying to send a letter when we're on the move like this? It's a struggle. It's not an answer I would have expected, but it's an answer. And now that I know, I kind of thought, well, honestly, I feel more... full. Like a puzzle piece sliding right back into place. No matter what happens, even if my path doesn't lead to the library, I feel better than I have in ages. Oh, I was just thinking I needed more options. How did you know? I think... for the first time in my life, I don't know what to do.
Congratulations, Yardsley. Now you're just like the rest of us.
No matter what, I've always known exactly what I want. But this is the first time I've had more options than time in the day. What do you think? You're right. The Akira have been with me my whole life, in one way or another. I owe it to them and myself to see it through to the end. Thank you, Envoy. I've been agonizing over this for longer than I want to admit. Finally picking a destination makes the journey a lot easier. Oh, but I am not looking forward to telling Quilici.
He'll understand. Your happiness and fulfillment are everything to him.
Well, come on. We've bigger things to deal with. Literally, in Sappadal's case. Much as I'm loath to relinquish the spotlight, we should be off. And Envoy, thank you, truly. Now, let's go.